Student loan borrowers should expect updates to repayment plans and forgiveness policies when the Trump administration takes over next year. This year and the past couple of years have seen a lot of back and forth regarding student loan relief efforts, and many borrowers are confused about their options. So let's talk about what borrowers can expect going into 2025 in this edition of ION News. For starters, there are two income-driven repayment plans set to come back next week. The Department of Education released an interim final rule that will reopen applications into the income contingent repayment plan and the pay-as-you-earn student loan repayment plan. These should go into effect December 15th. Now, ICR and Payee were due to be phased out and replaced by the SAVE plan. Their return is likely to ensure that there are income-driven repayment options that better comply with the court's arguments against the SAVE plan, which is currently under an injunction. Now, both ICR and Payee offer affordable monthly payments and potential forgiveness after 20 or 25 years, unless time-based student loan forgiveness is repealed by the GOP-led bill. Now, borrowers on SAVE may consider changing to ICR or Payee before SAVE gets struck down officially, which is expected in early 2025. The legality of the SAVE plan has been challenged by GOP-led states, and so far their challenge is held up in court. SAVE plan is currently under a federal injunction pending a final decision by the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals. If that appellate court strikes down the SAVE plan, as the lower courts have done, then the decision will most likely stand. There's no reason to expect the Trump administration to appeal the court's decision up to the Supreme Court. Now, speaking of new leadership, this week Tim Walberg, representative from Michigan, was elected as the chairman of the House Committee on Education and Workforce, a position previously held by Virginia Foxx. Now, Foxx has urged Republican lawmakers to pass the College Cost Reduction Act or include it in their upcoming tax cuts extension. Now, the College Cost Reduction Act would replace all existing income-driven repayment plans with its repayment assistance plan and would eliminate time-based forgiveness. Borrowers under the new plan would only receive forgiveness after they repaid, quote, the total amount of principal and interest that the borrower would have repaid under the standard repayment plan. Now, the College Cost Reduction Act would also eliminate Parent Plus and Graduate Plus loan programs, the borrower defense to repayment, and closed school discharge policies. Now, there's no certainty that the bill will pass in its current form, but the Republicans do have control of Congress and have made it clear that they plan to reshape the Department of Education. Here's Virginia Foxx addressing the House just this past week.
For 3 years in a row, the Education Department failed its audit. In other words, the Education Department has been unable to manage effectively, efficiently, or with any sense of accuracy the resources entrusted to it.
It'll be important for financial aid departments to track whatever changes happen and communicate those policies to their students. Now, if you're a borrower, what should you do now before the end of the year? There are a couple of things. So, number one, make sure that you're able to log in to your account with your student loan servicer and know which repayment plan you're currently in. If you're unsure who your servicer is or what repayment plan you have, you can always ask an Tuition student loan counselor through the online portal. And make sure that your contact information is up to date. Ensure that your email, phone number, mailing address are all accurate. Borrowers tend to create their federal servicer accounts with their school email addresses, and after graduation, sometimes they don't stay on top of changes. Now, Tuition account holders are also always notified of critical student loan repayment alerts based on their preferences. And this is a good time to explore your options. If you're struggling to make your payments, you do have options. You can still apply for an income-driven repayment plan directly through the online portal. So talk to an Tuition counselor today for help managing your repayment. Thank you.